What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we gets it bang bang in. And that's just the way it is, man. But before we get into the story, man, what I need you guys to do is hit that like and subscribe button, press that notification bell to all, and you already know what it is. So I wanted to talk about someone who's near and dear, just a great man, someone who was near and dear to my heart, right? My primo. And I'm going to explain the whole situation, man, some of the funny stories, some of the twists and turns. And how I believe, honestly and wholeheartedly, man, he was the downest white Norteno I ever met in my life, right? Now, I've met some crazy motherfuckers that are the white Caucasian version, right? That claim the Norteno movement. But this Volta right here, this is the one that started me out correctly on my path, guided me to the promised land, so you could say. He was definitely an inspiration to me. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, well, he led you down the gangbanging path. How was that inspirational? It was to me in my lifetime. It's what I wanted to do. And he made sure we did it side by side like a real one does. His leadership skills were off the chart, man. He was known as Vanilla, right? Vanilla, man. And there's a reason. Look at ding, 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 ding. Ice, ice, baby. That motherfucker right there was Vanilla for reals. Back in the days when I first started to peep out my window and see the Norteños on the block hanging out, drinking, having chicks, doing what they were doing, you know, I used to think to myself, man, I want to be a part of that. Something was pulling me towards the Norteño movement. Something that they were doing was catching my eye. I was like, man, they got all the girls, the money, the cars, you know, everybody on the block showed them love and respect. You know, I was like, damn, this is for me. You know, I have a good family, but at the same time, I want to be part of that familia. I want to be part of what's going on out there on the calles. The streets are very alluring, man, and people gravitate to them all the time. And back in the early 90s, this was the case with me. But I had a primo, you know, and I'm going to tell you, he was a white guy, but I'm going to tell you how he became my primo. He was definitely involved in the Norteño movement. He was definitely one of the first guys I ever seen all flamed up from head to toe, really rocking it at school, really doing it, and really getting respected, and if not, beating people up because of it. And then he changed his life. But so my primo, it's a lot of explanation to get to the point of where he became my cousin. But his mother married one of my tios, and my tio adopted her kids. You know, that's what a real man does. He steps up. And, you know, it's a package deal. As if you want the woman, you got to take care of the kids. And she had 3 children. He had a brother and a sister. And then, of course, himself, Vanilla. So he took his stepfather's last name. He was adopted. You know, he looked, to the day he died, he looked at him as his father. And my tío was a real roughneck construction worker type. Didn't play, will beat your ass any day of the week. In fact, he met his old lady at the bar. They beat some people up together. That's the type of motherfucker he was, right? Hard worker, took care of his familia. So I was always over there. And when I got to meet my primo, you know, to me, he was just a white guy. A really white guy. What's up, Wood? Right? I thought he was of a Wood persuasion, but he definitely wasn't. He gravitated more towards Mexicano. He gravitated more towards being a Chicano and towards what was going on in the calles. Now, he already came with the mentality of a Norteño movement. See, I wasn't expecting him to do that. And he pulled me to the side one day and he says, hey, we were about to start junior high school. I remember it was 6th grade. It was right before I got locked up and went to YA. He was like, hey, are you with the business? I said, well, what business is that? He said, the Norteño business. I said, I can't even spell Norteño, nor business. To this day, I can't spell business, right? So I was like, hey, I don't know why. What's up? And he was like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get all flamed up. And I had already been talking to my tío and telling him, I want to be one of them guys when I grow up. And he was like, you're a baoso, but if that's what you're going to be, then be it. You know what I mean? And like a roach to a fucking piece of fucking whatever, I crawled to it. And I got embraced and then I was involved. But my primo was definitely the role model, right? To me. He was the only white boy in the school area walking around flamed up from head to toe. I remember he had the old school red suede Cortezes, with the red Charlie Brown, with the bands creased up, Dickies red. I mean, just everything you could think of when you thought of a Norteño back in the 90s. Because, you know, back then we were flamed up from head to toe constantly. We wanted everybody to know as to what time it was with the Norte, right? He definitely was involved heavily. Never was from a barrio. Was from a little gang called Beechwood Locals. He eventually started to join or hang around with. But never came with the impact of a barrio, wasn't barrio raised, was kind of just ghetto raised. Holmes, his mother, prior to meeting my tío, had moved around, you know, from place to place, spot to spot. But he always, felt that draw or felt that pull with the Mexicanos, with the Mexicans. And there's a lot of white Norteños and white Sureños and black Norteños and black Sureños that do that. And people always wonder why. You're a product of your environment, Holmes. The geographical things do mean something. And this meant something to him. Him growing up in a hood with nothing but Mexicans and then his mother marrying a Mexican. I mean, it was like he had no choice. Okay, you were either going to be in for a penny or out for the pound. And he definitely was in for that penny. So he was involved. And I remember he was like a role model to me at school. He was the coolest guy, pulled all the bitches, right? But you know what I mean? I love my wife. But you know what I'm saying? He definitely was about that and was just involved in shit, right? And so I'm going to tell you a funny story, man. One of the stories that I remember the most was there was a vato named Panzon that was cool with me. I was cool with everyone. All Norteños homes lived violently. We were cool with each other, and I showed him love and respect. But for some reason, he hated on my primo, Vanilla, right? We called him Vanilla because when that song Ice Ice Baby came out, he had the fucking hair and he rocked the mic like a vandal, right? And he was doing his thing, parachute pants, he told all the girls, oh, it's Vanilla, right? And Sasuke, he was making it happen for himself. He was over there like, dun, 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 Ice Ice Baby. He was feeling it. He was feeling himself. Anyways, so the name Vanilla stuck with him. And anyways, he didn't like this dude, Panzon. Panzon didn't like him. And I don't know what the deal was with him, what the issue was, because like I said, Panzon was cool with me, but he wasn't no punk, man. Ever since elementary school, this was that one bigger guy that kind of punked and beat up everybody. So I already knew what it was, and he had a little homeboy with him, Johnny Mendez, who was a cool little cat, but I didn't really care for him, So it was kind of a situation where it was like, it's kiddie stuff, man. It's gang banging, yet not really more so personal. Anyways, there had been talk at the school that this vato wanted to see my primo Vanilla. Now, Vanilla had major mitts, major hands, right? And anyone that knew him and came around him knew that he was quick to fucking get off. He'll get off with you. He wasn't looking for no problems, but he wasn't taking shit either, brother, right? And so he'll definitely handle it. Guard! He was down, huh? You don't know, bitch. Right? So anyways, he was down to handle his business. So I remember that day there was a lot of talk in the school area that this vato Panzon, him and his little homeboys, they lived on the other side of Beechwood. We grew up in this little area called Beechwood. And that they were going to walk over, Holmes, and come see us, right? So I said, me too? Let's go, right? Fuck it then, hey, let's go. I'm ready. Or was I? One never knows, does one, right? The wind blew that day. Sure enough, after school, we're kicking back in the front yard. Everybody's waiting. There's all kinds of homies gathered around like, hey, homie, if anything cracks off, we're going to jump in. So that's you better, right? And I remember I was eating Fruity Pebbles sitting on the porch. A little kid, you get off school, you're starving than a motherfucker. I didn't like the fish that they served for lunch. And so I'm chilling, and here they come. They hit the block, about 6, 7 dudes just mobbing, right? Gang related. I was like, oh, shit, Norteños are in town, right? And my primo was like, what's up? And Navato was like, what's up? And they started to chunk him right there. Well, my other primo, his brother is a poop butt, right? He's actually a school teacher now. He's doing great in life, but he was a poop butt, right? Capital P with the capital B. The other dude, Johnny, was like, what's up, fool? My homeboy's getting down with your homeboy. What's up? Or with your brother. Let's go. And so I told him, go, fool. You handle your business. Because, hey, back then, this is how it is, man shit, gang-related shit. If someone called you out for a fade, you have to do it. If you're right there on the spot, then you can't handle your business, man. Win, lose, or draw, just go handle your business. So he didn't win nor draw in this one. He lost, right? So he gets up off the porch. He's like, man, I don't even know. Dude hit him, starts choking him out, guillotines his ass. And that dude's, what the fook, right? He's tapping out. Meanwhile, Vanilla and Panzon are handling it. Boom, boom. They're chunking him right there in the front yard. And everybody, the whole neighborhood's gathering around. We had a close-knit neighborhood. One of them vados where everybody would come around and just kick back. Older viejitos out there smoking a nail. Dang, he fucking hit him hard, eh? Fuck. Hey, is that my old lady over there? Right? I'm telling you, that type of neighborhood, old school vibes. And so motherfuckers could identify. Anyways, they're chunking them. Just about the time that they're out of breath and they can't breathe anymore, they're done, right? This dude, Johnny's already over there like he's the champion because he done Dick Canelo fucking Charlo over there, right? He beat up my primo. And my other primo, Vanilla and Panzon, they were just chunking him. Nobody was winning. Nobody was losing. It was just a good fight. I remember I was eating Fruity Pebbles, almost choked. Like, oh, shit, he hit him hard, eh? And then my Theo rolls up. His construction truck, you know what I mean? He ain't trying to have a whole bunch of youngsters in his front yard fighting and shit, man. He's like, damn, I just want a motherfucking Budweiser. That's it, right? So he pulls up and he's like, hey, what's going on? Everyone gets scared. We're all kids, right? I don't know. My cousin Vanilla's like, I don't know, hey, you know what I mean? He didn't want to tell, but at the same time, right? It wasn't me, Dad, right? And my Theo jumps off and he's like, hey, fat boy. He tells Panzon's like, what's up? He's like, hey, you fighting my son? He was like, no, mister, because see the way that my fighting game... No, he goes, no. If you guys are going to motherfucking handle it, you guys are going to finish it right here, Holmes. You guys are both homeboys, Norteños. Get off right here, handle your business one-on-one, take that fade, Holmes, and get it out your system. And then I don't want to hear none of this shit anymore. Sasuke, you guys are on my property. That's in the way I do it on my property. Right? He was getting all crazy and veterano on us, and I'm still eating Fruity Pebbles. Right? Meanwhile, I'm kind of seething in the background because my cousin got the shit beat out of him over there. And that dude Johnny's still over there like he has a belt, right? So my primo's like, all right, fuck it. Boom! He takes flight on Panzón and they start chunking him. They're going at it for a good 4-5 minutes. For anyone that knows about a fight, 4-5 minutes seems like half an hour, 45 minutes, right? They're getting it. They're rolling around on the ground wrestling. Are you done? Are you done? Can you take it? Listo. Fuck you, right? So they're getting it. And this dude Johnny tells my cousin again, the littler cousin, right? He's like, hey, what's up, fool? Let's go again. Now he's all proud because he did one, right? Let's go again. Just about the time he's saying, let's go again, for the last time I finished my Fruity Pebbles. And I said, how about I go again? Because my primo's over there like, hey, I lost already, right? His tooth's all over here. I fucking lost, Tom. Right? I'm like, I didn't lose. What's up? And he was like, oh, no, I'm cool with you. Back in the days, they called me Skinner. I'm cool with you, Skinner. Shit, we're good, homie. We're good. I said, no, but we're not good, homie. That's my primo. What's up, though? A little ass kid, I thought it was bad and shit. I was all skinny and ugly, right? What's happening, though, Holmes? Right? So about this, like, fuck it, la primera. Boom. Caught him. Dropped him. His nose went that way. His eyeball went that way. Fucked this whole world off. I hit him so hard, I dislocated my arm. My tío was like, my arm. My arm was like, let's just pull it, mijo. No. Right? That's how bad I hit him, man. I had to go get casted up that night in the emergency room. That stopped the whole fight. Panzón and my primo were go chunking him, and all of a sudden, he had my primo like that. He was like, it's over, baby. Right? And they all left. I went to do it. I'm fucking lost, man. I'm gonna fucking come back. No, you ain't coming back. You're never coming back from the... In fact, I'm going to tell you guys what happened to him. So he gets beat up from the feet up, right? I'm over there all proud, but one arm is just dangling like that. I fucked him up, You see that shit? Hey, Theo, can I get some more Fruity Pebbles? Right? Bam! They take me to the emergency room. I get a cast. Next day, his primo is telling everyone in school he wants to beat my ass. And so I popped up on him, cut the cast off, thought I was cool, and he broke my arm in 3 places. Bang. There it goes. I lost that fight, but I still pulled up even with a broken arm. Facts. Now let's get back to Vanilla. My primo had problems and issues, man. His only issue was not that he was not a hardcore Norteño. You know, he went to prison, functioned, did his thing, got out, and started to have children and met his wife and moved out of state and did his thing, you know. Never fell off, never PC'd up, never dropped out, was never involved like that. Didn't involve himself in the politics of the Norteño movement, but just was a good, righteous homeboy. One of them homeboys you could depend on, you know. You could always call him for a ride, call him for anything. You know, he grew up to be a solid-ass homeboy. And there's a lot of homeboys like that from the hood, man. And that's what makes him the downest, solidest Norteño, white Norteño that I ever met, is because of the way he carried himself. He never denied what he was. You know, if you met him, he was a white boy, but he was with the Mexican business. And that's just how that was. And I always respected him. You know, we grew apart for a while there because I ended up catching my case and going to CYA, and we missed a lot of years. You know, all my teen years I was locked up and he was living his life. And then, of course, I'd get out and then in and out of prison, county jails, again, functioning, doing my thing within the movement. I got a little bit more ingrained, a little bit more hardcore. I started dedicating a little bit more myself to the Norteño movement by far, right? Compared to what he was doing. And he was having children and raising a family. And I remember one day I'm walking, I'm mad. I ain't got no cars, hot, fuck 115 degrees. Fuck, I'm just trying to walk to the lake. I was way out in the country and he pulls up. What's up, primo? I said, oh shit, Vanilla, what's up? He's like, jump in. I said, shit, you thought I wasn't when I really was, right? So I jump in that motherfucker. He got a beat up ass Alpine pull out from old school back in the days. I'm like, damn, fool, step your game up. And I'm like, what's up? He was like, what are you doing? I said, walking to the lake. I'm fucking hot. You know what I mean? He's like, you couldn't get a ride from one of the bitches or something? I don't do that type of shit. You know what I mean? I just mob, He's like, so we started to conversate and chop it up, and we started to catch up. I hadn't seen him for a long time. And one thing about him was, man, I started to notice that he had a heavy drug addiction. You know, he was involved in that. You know, and it grips a lot of our gente, a lot of our good ones. And I fucking hate it, man. It catches a lot of our solid ones sidetracked, man. And they get all weirded out. He was spaced out a little bit, but he still loved his family. He was still a hard worker. He always was into the construction game. His dad, you know, took him into that. But he would have ups and downs, you know, in life. One thing that he never wavered on was his dedication and his true dedication, man, to the Norteño movement. He just was definitely involved with the Norte, you know. And I told him, you know, I actually had a great talk with him. The last time that I got to see him before he passed away, because he did ultimately pass away about 2 years ago, I told him, I said, hey, primo, it's because of you, eh? A lot of the things you showed me and a lot of the ways, man, and the way I seen you had class and professionalism and you had spirit and heart, Holmes, is the reason I became the man that I was. When I was incarcerated, I stood strong. And, there was plenty of times, man, I was outmanned, outnumbered, outgunned. But I always thought about people like him, people like my tío, people that laced me up and educated and instilled that work ethic, that professionalism into me. And he was definitely one of them. And he was a white Norteño. So it trips me out, man. I see a lot of people talk about, there's a lot of white Norteños up north and they're watered down and they're not fucking Mexican. And nah, homie, it doesn't matter about what ethnicity you are, man. It matters about where your heart is. Orale micro, right? To the bone. It doesn't matter, man. I've met a lot of black and brown and, of course, white homeboys that were righteous as fuck. I mean, look at the rapper Woody, man. Don't no one hate on him. He's a legend out the Bay Area. It just doesn't matter your ethnicity. It matters where your heart is. Where you lay your head is home. And that's it. One thing about the Norteño movement that definitely they encompassed, and one thing that I loved, and I still continue to love about it, is they'll accept you if you're righteous. If you're a righteous, solid individual, it doesn't matter if you're black or brown or white or green, pink, I don't know. They can't stay over there. But that's exactly what's going to happen. People are going to fucking bring you into the fold, and they're going to show you love and respect. And it's people like my primo that pay that forward, homes, that lace up. He was constantly like that. When we were young, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be like, damn, fool, there's nothing but Southsiders at this school. Because there was, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says in the city of Merced. Back in the days, everybody used to wear blue. I don't know if they were crippin' or they were Southsidering, but they were doing something, right? Something was fishy in that water. And me and him used to be flamed up from head to toe about the business. Now, there was other ones too, but South we rocked and did our own thing. With that being said, man, my primo, rest in peace to Michael Reyes, man, my primo Vanilla. I'll forever love him, man. He'll forever be in my heart. We lost a good one. We lost a good soldado in Northern California, man. We hear songs like Blackbird and people express for their homies, man. This was a good one. Never fell off, never dropped out, never did none of that, never told on anyone. Did things the way they were supposed to do. Pura, 10-5 a key, He definitely was a good homie and just had, challenges in life. And that's why, man, I'm strictly against drugs. That's why, they took a lot from my life, man. My tíos to come to it, my tía. Everyone that was closest to me was battling drug addiction, or they had some type of demons and vices, and they lost their life over it. And that's why I've always been abstinence from drugs, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Every once in a while, motherfucker used to just dip on out. A little coke money never hurt nobody, just to see what it was. But on power, at the end of the day, I realize, just like everyone else does, or most people should, that ain't the route to go, man. It's nothing but desolation, betrayal, disloyalty, man. Even those that are closest around you will fall off behind the spoon. It's just an ugly situation. Are they the root of all evil? Drugs, man? They definitely were in my family, because it brought a lot of good soldados down. So yes, when it comes to the white Norteños, Michael Reyes definitely was one of the most heaviest hitters that I met. He doesn't look it, but don't let the light skin fool you. That white boy would fuck you up, right? Once he came out with glasses, his veins started popping out his face. So I was like, no, that right there's wood. That's wood, brother. You know what I mean? He is with the shits. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in today, man. The downest white Norteño I ever met. Vanilla from the city of Merced, Beachwood locals. That's what it is, man. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I honestly and truly believe in, man. And that's the coming together of all gente, man. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what race you are, all that, man. Save all that racist shit for someone who gives a fuck, right? I don't. Because I'm here to tell you, man, you can be hard and solid from every different gang, every different clique, every different video, and just as a man. Because a true man wakes up, laces his boots up, and goes out there and works, homes for his. That's just what men do. With that being said, move smooth with a purpose and get everything that you want coming to you, because ain't no one going to do it for you. I ain't. You got to do it for yourself. That's it. Bang, bang, the gun.